Alright, first up here on Route 44, we have Poliwhirl. Now, we have Poliwhirl on our team, Tsunami's a good member of the team. However, I do think that you would have at least better water types you can have at this point. I mean, hell, you can even use the red Gyarados, however long ago we got it. But it has two evolutions you can see there. With the Water Stone, you can get the water fighting Poliwrath. And trading it with the Keen's Rock, you can get the mono-type Toad. So pick your poison, although one's better in special attack and the other is better in physical attack. So, pick your poison with that one. Up next, we have Weepinbell. Weepinbell is the evolved form of Bellsprout. Now, just like how I mentioned about Bellsprout, however long ago that was, towards the beginning of the game, it is a decent mixed attacker. It's pretty respectable. Although, if you want it to be a good mix attacker, you're going to end up investing a lot of TMs into it. I mean, it's still good, it's just, you just got to invest into TMs for most of its existence. To evolve it, you got to evolve it with the Leaf Stone, so if you have one, you can pretty much evolve it right as soon as you get one. But, I would not recommend it. Next up, we have Lickitung, which is a normal type, as you can see there. It is a pretty decent normal type, so, has a good HP, good, attack, good defense. Even though it can evolve in Gen 4, we're not going to talk about Licky here. So, yeah. It's just Lickitung that we're dealing with here, and, like how I mentioned, it is somewhat decent. So if you want a decent normal type, why not? I won't stop you if you, wanted to grab one of these guys, but I kind of don't recommend it. There's definitely better normal types out there. Next up, we have Tangela. In Gen 1, it used to be the only pure grass type, but coming into this game in this generation, Gen 2, not anymore. It's a pretty decent grass type, I would say, but it's not really worth going after. I mean, it's known for using Constrict, Bind, and Wrap, as well as Vine Whip. So I would not even entertain the thought of picking one of these guys up. And lastly, here with the usage of the Super Rod is Remoraid. Remoraid can only be found in Gold and Silver. It's kind of unique in that it can evolve into Octillery at level 25, which is an octopus. Yeah, I don't know how a fish will magically turn into an octopus either, but moving on. It's pretty good with ice and water moves, so it's, pretty fast. Kind of average, I guess. So if you want something that's kind of fast and average, and you're playing Gold and Silver, why not? Alright, here on the first floor of the Ice Path, we have a few Pokemon to go over. So first up here, we have Jinx. Jinx is an Ice Type, as you can see there. Jinx is kind of half and half. It's really good in terms of special attack, with it being a good Psychic type attacker. But with its Ice type, its defenses are not really that good. So, in other words, it's a glass cannon. But, if you need a good, decent Ice and/or Psychic type, then, it's a good choice. Although, I'm not going to go after one, but, I definitely would not rule out trying to go after one. Next up, we have Swinub, which is an Ice and Ground type. It's actually kind of decent, I have to admit. It's a little sturdy with its, ground typing. Now, it does also have another evolution known as Mamoswine, but we will not be able to obtain it unless you're playing, Heart Gold and Soul Silver, so we're not going to go over it here. But going up to Paloswine, it's, decent. It's just like Swinub, but a little bit better. But I still think there's better Ice types that you can find in here. But it's not the terrible choice. And last up here, we have Delibird, which is known as the Christmas Santa Bird type Pokemon. It can only be found in Silver and Crystal. It's honestly not really that good, but it's decent for what it is, and especially at the point in the game now. Like, especially going up against the next gym leader. but its main turnoff is kind of how random its signature move Present does. Like, you even have a 1 in 5 chance of accidentally healing your opponent with that move. So, if you want to have it for that chance, I guess you can go for it. Alright, we only have one new Pokemon here in Basement Floor 1, and it is Sneasel. Sneasel is a Dark Ice type, which, according to my calculations, is the first Dark type that we technically are able to encounter. It can only be found in Crystal and only at night. It's pretty good. It's kind of decent. You know, it's a glass cannon, but only in the physical sense. So it's kind of like Jinx, except, you know, it's more physical than Jinx. So you want a good ice type, or something that's kind of fast and decent and has some good power, well, why not? Alright, so if you give this guy a Dragonair, depending on what version you play, he'll give you a different Pokemon. So first off, in Crystal, he'll give you a Dodrio. Dodrio is probably the fastest normal flying type in the entire game, but in terms of its attack and defense, you know, they're quite decent. So if you want something that's kind of fast, but also kind of, you know, decently good, why not pick one and, you know, do this trade if you're playing Crystal along with me. I will also note that if you want its pre-evolved form, you will be able to get it, but it won't be until, well, after we're done here in this town. Alright, now doing this trade in Gold and Silver, he'll give you Rhydon, which is not Rock Ground type, but it's Ground Rock type. Yeah, I know I made a little typo with its typing, but you know, get the point across. Rhydon is pretty good. It's good physically. It has some good defenses. Its main Achilles heel that it's slow and has a quad weakness of both water and grass. So pick your poison on if you want to do this trade in Gold and Silver. Its pre-evolved form can be found later, but only in one place.